Okay. Ms. J online, I see we have a student online. We have the students here, so if you have any questions online, just put it in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself. These, right now, we're gonna start out with our song, get in the mode of speaking Mvskoke and thinking Mvskoke. Everybody feel that power of the spirit in the center. We did. You hear it? I forgot who's on the recording. Because there are so many different people recording the same song, but they all have their different styles. Most to Johnny humor. They all have their different styles. Some of them go really slow, some of them go really fast. But I forgot who I had on that one. I think it came from the CD that you can get from the Mvskoke language program. I think that's where I got it. So I'm not sure, I can look. They have free CDs for the language singing. If you just call up there, and usually you speak with Coco or somebody, and they'll send it out to you for your charge. So that's one way to start listening to our songs and everything on, driving. Mm-hmm. So I was listening to some of the CDs just to get into the Mvskoke mindset with our truck, and our truck's name is Hopefully Johnny's Red Woman, and I was awesome. It was good. I was driving around, and then the Joe Lusty, which is my little car, black deer. I was trying to use my CDs, and just kept pushing it, it wouldn't go in. It doesn't have a CD player. But yeah, so it was helpful when I was driving the truck that I didn't realize. I know I was using the CD player, but I was in my other one. Kept pushing it. I was like, wait, because I have a CD player. Oh goodness. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we start on module 4B3? All right, so we're just going to go ahead and go over some of the things that we did last week. And then we will go to third person. Remember when I was talking about how you'll come across people who say things different and even spell things different. This is one of the ones, and I might not have given you this one because it's last week, but this is the Duffet oats, which is, it is cold. And then also, remember, hay oats, it is hot. Remember, you can put the tea over here, and this is, I think what I have given you guys as part of the handouts. I have pushed the tea over so it's dose. I have pushed it over because that's how our speakers speak over there in the Mvskoke language program. And I wanted us to stay in line with what they're doing. But this, you can, use Duffet oats or Duffet dose. And so I just wanted to review and refresh you guys with that, that is an acceptable way to see it written differently. Anyway. And one of the things, okay, does anybody remember what color this is? Let's go. What is it? Yeah, shoddy is red. Shoddy. So I'm trying to use more Mvskoke and think more Mvskoke. So I'll ask you guys questions now and then, and I'm trying to keep you guys on your toes. You guys keep me on my toes. So we go back and forth. We're all learning. We're at different levels. So, like I said, there's some things that I know that you don't know. There's some things you know that I don't know. As long as we can understand each other and start to learn, that's what we're trying to create, some learning and no, very good. Okay. So, okay. The key to go, restless, having a troubled heart. Somebody had put that in Facebook, and I was like, oh wow. I didn't really know what it was, but if you look at it, it's just a breakdown of things that we already know. Heart. Easy, which is good. Goal is not. So big would be heart. Easy means good. Goal means not. So basically, that means heart, good, not. Big goal. Big goal. All right, so I thought that was cool. That something that we know, we can actually understand what they're saying, even if you don't know what they're talking about. You can, on a lot of our Mvskoke words, you can kind of see where they're here. And then one of the things that I want to share with everybody is we want to say welcome to the new folks that are here. We have a few of them. All right. So interviews. So sometimes I just sit there and just like think of Mvskoke words and think of, some of the things that just make sense in the area that I'm in. I'm older. So I was like, I have more peace now that I'm older because you get to the point where you're like, I don't care what so-and-so thinks of me. I don't care, and you have more inner peace. So these are some of the things that I've come across that, I think a lot of us are now at this point where, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And if so-and-so doesn't like it, so-and-so can swipe left or swipe right. Because, you see that going on all the time. Don't speak, please. Excuse me? Do you speak, please? I am a learner. So I can speak simple sentences. And what I've learned through colleges. So now that I work at the Mvskoke language program, I can hear the speakers. And when I speak some things, I'm learning from them. And so, but my base has always been from academically, from the colleges, College of Mvskoke Nation, my Higher Marshall and Higher Barnett. And then I had a Mvhayv here in the city as well. So I always tell everybody I'm trying. I'm not quite where I want to be, but I'm a lot farther than when I started. Because I'm going to say I started in my late 40s. My kids were finally out of high school. So I'm like, okay, it's time for mama. What does mama want to do? And one of the things I had started after my military career, raising my kids, making sure they were good to go. And then after that, I started back into education So it's like, I still have these benefits that, so I started into education, then I started learning our language. It's like, I only know some words. And I didn't grow up around it. So I'm trying to share everything I know with you guys because, we all need to help each other out. And I'm trying to help us save the language. And one of the other motivators was I've got my master's degree in Native American leadership. I was looking at a doctorate program and I wanted to go for Native American studies. And one of the places that I looked at, I said, oh, you've got to speak your language. And I was like, oh, I didn't know, but now I can say my name, I can say simple sentences, and I can speak my language. But if, everybody who knows learning language, it's a full-time thing and it's going to be a lifetime. That's where I'm coming from. All right. Individuals with the last name, so this means no part as in people. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I have some relatives with the last name Mvskoke. They have no heart. All right. Okay. So, let me see. And this is for David.
It's so cute.
Sadatako Simadiki.
This is so deep that he was just a Mexico.
Yeah. I know some of my relatives. So, they asked me last time what the word for apple was. So I made a video, so we all know now what apple pie is. Whatever, like Ghana or peach, we put Ghana Sinadiki. So Sinadiki is the pie. All right, so that gives you a little leeway of what you're going to talk about. Thoughtful can be big, yes. That's one of the things in Mvskoke language is sometimes thoughtful is big, and it doesn't always mean big though. It can mean something else, like you say.
Horse.
Yeah, like you say, thoughtful can mean horse. It says, sometimes it's big, but if you look
Or important.
Of what?
I think it can mean important.
Like a big event, it could mean like a big event. Thoughtful, if you look at the breakdown of thoughtful, how originally it was Ijo thoughtful. Ijo, which is deer, thoughtful big. They didn't have a word for horse, so Ijo thoughtful. And it got down, sometimes people say Jo thoughtful, they drop the E, just Jo thoughtful. And that means still, big deer. And some of us who grew up thoughtful. So, that's just how language evolves. But all of them are right. Ijo thoughtful, Jo thoughtful, or thoughtful, the horse. But yeah, let me play this one more time.
Sadatako Simadiki.
So I put it out there and it does say apple pie, but for some reason this was not working. But so anything you guys bring up, like I said, I try to incorporate in our lessons because it's another thing that we can learn. And let's go. Oh, hello. Well, I think it was talk about my dress. No. I know the other day I was wearing Kipala, and so they're like, "Oh, Kipala, Kipala." I had all these strawberries on my skirt. All right, so now we're in week 3. I'm again for week 3, future tense. Remember, the only thing that changes is right here. Say the third person, the third one role, have a person mark. Depends on what we're talking about. Are we talking about I? Are we talking about you? Are we talking about she, he, they, or it? So that's the only thing that changes in our rules right here for the fourth module. Future one tense that shows someone is going to do something There's no L rating in each one tense. You drop your ETV, you add your tense marker, on means going to. Add your person marker, it's for nothing, which means she, he, they, or it. Add the declarative ending S or ES, meaning am, are, is. All right, everybody, you guys are doing awesome. You guys remember this. Now we're going to show you the third person. And because we've already gone through first person, second person, the third person. And again, I have the template for you guys. You guys should have it in your packets. The template for third person. You just take your infinitive verb and you plug and play. Plug it in, play, Mvhayv. Like I said, Mvhayv is my favorite word. My two family get together, you know, Thanksgiving. So we would put that, and I will show you, I can slide it, show you the breakdown, but I'm just going through the template. And if there's anything wrong, I can always revise it and put it back on Google Drive. Mvhayv, to eat, just step by step. You put Mvhayv, to eat. Mvhayv, you drop your ETV on Mvhayv, and there you get your verb stem, which would be HOMP. No L rating, you just drop your verb stem all the way down. You add on, which is your tense marker, means going to do something, is future tense. Again, drop your on, add your person marker. Remember, this is nothing there. I just did it to open and close parentheses, showing you that there is a step there, but nothing is added. So basically, in this parenthesis is she, he, it, or they. It's given. In these parentheses, she, he, it, or they. Add your add your person marker. Person marker. You add your S or ES. Since the N is the last letter, it's going to be ES. So Mvhayv. And ES or S is am, are, is. Mvhayv. You know where your verb stem is. You add your tense marker, which right here you know is going to. Your person marker is open and close parentheses, like it's a placeholder, means she, he, it, or they. You add your ES because N is no vowel, so you add it out to S. S or ES is am, are, is. Mvhayv. She is going to eat. He is going to eat. They are going to eat. It is going to eat. So this is the template. So you guys have all access to the template. So any of the infinitive verbs that we have in module 1, 2, and 3 is plug and play. Like I said, I will show you this example so you can see it all filled out. So you don't have to imagine Mvhayv. All right. Mvhayv, to eat. Remember, third person. Mvhayv, to eat. Mvhayv, to eat. Mvhayv, drop your ETV, you verb stem. And some people call it, I was in a class recently, some people call it the root. The root. So if you hear the root or verb stem, it's the same. So verb stem. No L grading. Remember, L grading was in module 1. Mvhayv. The han is going to future tense. Mvhayv, add your person marker. In that person marker, remember she, he, it, or they. Mvhayv, add your ES. Mvhayv. Here. Mvhayv. If you can't sound it out right here, remember, if we go step by step. Mvhayv. All right? And that's how you can pronounce it. And then from this, and from the steps that we just completed, you know what each part of this means. Verb stem. Add tense marker, which is going to on. Your person marker is right there. ES is right here. So right here, looking at this, Mvhayv, how do you know that that is third person? And they're not talking about the first person or second person. Right, there's no person marker. Because if you were talking about first person, it would be you would have I right there. If you, yeah, I, or if the second person would be it. So since it has neither one of those, that means it's third person. What's eco? What's eco? Eco was last module, which was not. Not, okay. Right. Not, yeah. So remember last time we were like, we were not going to cook. We were not going to sleep. We were not going to run. This module, we are going to run. We're going to cook. We're going to eat. All right. Like I said, I like to show you guys different ways to do the same thing. So if I don't catch you one way, I'm going to show you another way. So honest. You've seen how we just conjugated everything. And you have your template. So comes from home means to learn. So learning, means going to. Remember, when you add it's going to. This open and close parentheses means she, he, it, or they. That is really not there. Like I said, that just helps me to stay in order when I'm doing my steps. And then es, because n is not a vowel, we add es. Honest. Go ahead. Means to eat. So, okay, you got your little papers, get your little pencil and just put eating. All right, good job. Okay. There, everybody got a pencil? So instead of learning, it's eating. Eating, going to, she, they, it, they, and artists. So the literal translation, like you can see right here, is eating, going to, she, it, they, and artists. That is the literal translation. Eating, she, it, they, and artists. Remember, you get to pick what you're talking about. If you're talking about a woman, you know it's going to be she. If you're talking about Javon over there, you know, talking about he. If you're talking about Chofi, rabbit, it. You can talk about it, you know, or they. They went to the store. You're talking about your grandma went to the store. What's grandmother? Oh, you can say she went to the store, or they went to the store. That's where that goes in. It or they. Am or is. English translation is she is going to is eating. I have it wrong here, but I have it right in the bottom here. Okay. Eating is eating. Eating is eating. They are eating. It is eating. All right. So like I said, I like to show you guys all of the different ways to remember this. And I like to color code so you can remember. Right? That means going to. That is the person marker should be right there. Nothing there. Yes, and markers. All right. Does anybody have any questions so far? Besides that needs to be eating.
Mvhayv,
Yeah,
I have a question. So if Hombahan is she or he or they will eat, and Hombahanetsk is you will eat, how would you say I am going to eat? How would that sound different than Hombahan is?
Let me show you some 15. Should be week 1.
Or would you say Hombahan is? Or is that the same as saying she, he, they will eat?
Right there. So just HOMP, Ahan, IS, or AS if you want to do this coding. And then, so that's first person. Did you say second person?
Well, second person is you can tell the difference, but if it's first person or if it's third person, it kind of sounds the same to me. And I'm trying to figure out how it sounds different.
Remember the A sound it's for the third person, more the A sound. I know sometimes it's hard to differentiate. Sometimes even online, it's hard to hear the difference. But Ayahanes, it's the A sound, because the I, the A sound. Ayahanes, and then Ayahanes, the I sound, or ES. Hombahanes, yeah, Hombahanes for that's first person. That's first person. So the I has the A sound, so Ayahanes. And if we were going for third person, Ayahanes. Ayahanes, because it's the E has got the I sound. So there's a little bit of a difference. You can see it more so when you look at it written down. But I know one of the things that Mvhayv Barnett was talking about today, and yesterday in her class was, and I'm nowhere near Mvhayv Marshall or Mvhayv Barnett, but she was talking about when the speakers speak, sometimes they speak so fast that, you can't. A speaker will understand, but when those of us who are learning, because I remember she was talking to you, those of us who are learning will listen for those little intonations and little inflections that, we are learning, but they just kind of breeze over it. But Ayahanes is for first person. Ayahanes would be third person. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it answered my question, but it's just like you have to really listen to it at the end.
Really listen to it, and I know even sometimes when we're, I was going to say preaching, teaching on the internet, the sounds are not quite the same. We've had to go back and we've had to edit some things because it was said correctly, but through the internet, you get buzz and you get some kind of changes on it. So maybe that's what you're hearing. Did you guys hear a difference when I said it? It's Hombahanes. Yeah. And sometimes, like I said, it's just a speaker. I know when I get fast, I don't make those, the ah, the differentiation, and that takes practice. Okay. Third person, and for those of you online, I had come across this, and I think I emailed it to everybody. These are the new QR codes, because we're always doing some new things at the Mvskoke language program. So anything I come across, I want to make sure you guys have it. You guys know. I did print it out for those of you who are in class, in case you have somebody who is interested in doing the language, and they're right there saying, "Hey, I got a QR code. I'll get your phone." But like Instagram and Linktree was something new for me. I've never done Linktree. And of course, here's the Google Drive, Mvskoke language Google Drive. So you guys have access to all that. And I just wanted to put attention to that. That is also in the Google Drive. And remember when we were just going over these, I did move the T over. So what we were talking about is it could be Mvskoke Os, it is called, or Mvskoke Dos. And since a lot of the language speakers in the Mvskoke language program use Dos, I'm using Dos.
My mother-in-law said, "So big." He told me one time, Greek words are long words. It's so big.
Yeah, there's you listen to some of the speakers and you can hear the differences on how we learn it and how they speak it. But, like I said, eventually we want to sound like them. And they do hold things longer. They do intonations on their voices and stuff that. Right now, we're not there yet. But we're getting there. All right. So, and you see right here, when I did break it up into syllables so you guys can make it easier. Does anybody want to try the first one? I will. And then does the breakdown, does that help everybody? Because I know it helps me still.
Can you say it again, slow? That is going.
That is the way to watch. Okay, go ahead.
Let me read it to do so they can hear it.
Okay.
How is it outside? This is still with no it is cold. There's something goes. It is hot. Today is hot. Much of it is which of it is today. Is hot. Today is cold. Much of it than today. Consecutive. Today is beautiful. Putting it the hateful signals. The wind is strong. For the picture signals.
Good job. All right. So now we heard how it's supposed to sound and how we're trying to sound. I also have a speaker on here, so people speak it, but let's go ahead. Anybody want to try the second one? Okay.
Yes, right.
Anybody want to try the third one?
I will.
Okay, go ahead.
Aidos.
Aidos.
That's right.
All right, the third one, anybody want to try that one? Or did it Okay, remember the A, the I's got A sound, and then the Aidos, today is hot. And like she said, what Janetta means today, K is hot, dos is. It could also be it is. All right, so that's one of the things that learning Mvskoke is there's not always definites. There could be, those could be one thing in one sentence and something else in a different sentence. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to, get down to myself is when does it mean this or that? But I'm, like I said, I'm still learning. But right now it says, Mojaneta is today, A is hot, and is dos. Dos can also be it is. All right, so let's try this one. Okay. All right, the next person, anybody want to try this one?
Janetta Agency-Bills.
All right, good job. And the last one?
Oh, yeah.
All right, hopefully,
In that sentence, the V sound like A.
So let me go ahead and play this for you guys.
Fitta istoidoa. How is it outside? 'Cause upidos, it is cold. Heidos, it is hot. Mujanita heidos, today is hot. Mujanita kazapidos, today is cold. Mujanita hithosidos, today is beautiful. Hodale yichidos, the wind is strong.
We do the first one again. Okay.
Fitta istoidoa. How is it outside? 'Cause upidos, it is cold. Heidos, it is hot. Mujanita heidos, today is hot. Mujanita kazapidos, today is cold. Mujanita he thosidos. Today is beautiful. Hodale yikchidos, the wind is strong.
You've got those intonations that we're trying to attain, but it just takes practice. And then just like what happened a while ago, you had the I, the English I. Your mind has to remember the accent. Hey.
Oh,
So this is around Drive, like you said, you have access to Google Drive, 2 o'clock in the morning, you can't sleep. You can listen to Mvskoke and you can practice. What's here? And then, you can say, Desiray. And I would say, and I'd be like, so next time I see you, I'm like, I didn't hear you. But I used to do that with my kids. And I've got all kinds of funny stories. I think our native people are just make humor out of things, just because we like to make ourselves laugh. And there's so many things out there that try to be ugly to us. So I always made myself laugh. And I would tell my kids, one of the things, my kids were outside playing, and I go out there and like, hey, they start eating something, and they're like, a couple, about 10 minutes later, they're like, is it time to eat yet? I said, I called you guys. I'm like, go ahead, just something goofy like that. I know one time I was just doing something, and I called my son, hey, I need help. And then I was doing something, he goes, Mom, you shouldn't be doing that. You should have called me. I did. Just some of these things, I think native humor. I remember being the only female in my group of cousins. And guess who would get picked on all the time? Opti, Opti, Opti. What you doing? And it was never Chavon. Never Chavon. It was always me. So I was always getting picked on. And even when we were all sitting there together, I always hear this little voice, "Whoopty, whoopty." And then when I turn around and look at my uncle, he's like, and he was always just teasing me, playing with me, We sit there and I'm like, I swear I heard my name. And then later on, "Whoopty, whoopty." I was like, you called my name. It was just, just something, like I said, native humor. But like I said, every time I teach, I always try to put everything with our speakers so you can hear what we're trying to attain. I'm not there yet. I'm trying to get there, but this is what we're trying to do. Just get those little intonations and little words correctly. And I'm not going to tell anybody, as long as they're trying, I'm not going to tell anybody, you said it wrong. I just want you to just keep trying. And we've gone through this at the Mvskoke language conference. Some people say Iva for dog, and some people say Iva. I still know what you're talking about. I'm not going to say, your grandma told you wrong. I don't want a whole family there. But here's your nature words. You guys have your nature words? And I am looking at having some other things because you guys have all been with me through the steps. You guys know how to add, how to plug and play. We've been so busy at the office, I haven't been able to get any new infinitive verbs. But once I do, I will share that with you. But I was thinking about having maybe Ted come in, and we'll have guest speaker speaking about language, maybe some stories. We might have, if I can find somebody to sing, maybe we can have again join us and we can sing for a little bit and then learn how to speak again. Because I know a lot of people have said that they've learned the words through singing. And I know some people said, well, I know how to sing this hymn, but I don't know what I'm singing. And like I tell you guys, I always try to add exactly what you're saying, because I don't want you to say, hey, Desiree taught me this, and I don't know what I'm saying.
Sorry, mention of five.
Sorry.
Behind the scene.
Nice. And then when there's more than one way to say it, I try to share that with you as well, because you know, you've got all these different dialects, different ways of saying the same thing. And on this paper, you will see it. All right. All right, nature words. Let's see. For sun. Athisi. Bucky. For grass. Ido. For tree. This one is the one like I was telling you guys, there's more than one way to say it. Hitubi, for snow. And you see the breakdown there. You've got Owa and Wiwa for water. Ortoli for wind. Yotka for fire. Igana for earth. Suda for sky. Hachi.
I still.
Yeah. Hachi. So river. Hachi is a mistake in Mvskoke. There's no discrimination. Every letter has a sound, even if it's sound. Hachi. Hachi. Yes, Hachi. The stream.
Yeah.
Remember, Palaswa, Jumpa, or star. So when you look in the dictionary, it says star for both of those, and like I shared with you before, is one of my Mvhayv said, Palaswa was for big star, and Jumpa was for many little stars. Now, I have not seen that written, I was just taught that in once. And let's see, Horoti, cloud. Hopefully, okay, I on my syllables I did that wrong. Hopefully, it's HOTVLP. Hopefully, or hurricane. So if you guys want to, you know, break the breakdown, it's HO-TV-LE, and then the taco. Ituti Nika is hail. Ido Isi, Do Isi, Do Isi is leaf. Do Isi is leaf. And I did hear that, I didn't know that that was a word for leaf. Was that a Seminole language class? And somebody said Do Isi. It's like, what are they talking about? I looked it up, and those are the three different ways that it was in the dictionary. So if you hear one or the other, they talk about leaf. And from what I was told, Isi, it's tree hair. Tree hair. So I thought that was pretty cool. And let's see, morning star. You know, I did practice this. And you'll hear it. You'll hear it. Like I said, we're trying to learn. Just remember the breakdown points. And here we go. She will miss one.
Hasi, sun. Hathisi, moon. Bahi, grass. Ido, tree. Hirudi, hutki. Hirudi thako, snow. Uwa, wiwa, water. Hudali, wind. Dutka, fire. Igana, earth. Suda, sky. Hachi, river. Hachuji, stream. Kulaswa, star. Kujajamba, star. Aholoji, cloud. Udali tako, hurricane. Hirudi niska, hail. Hayadija, morning star.
Really, I accidentally edited too much, so she would jump down to the very bottom. So, like I said, this is for us to practice with. This is for us to think about. So whenever we're we're breaking everything down. You can hear and try to make your voice sound like hers, have the intonations and stuff like the speakers. And I will go back and re-edit that and capture all of the words I missed. I think I missed one or two. Yeah. I believe it's yes, the T has the D sound, but like I said, sometimes people say it more T, some people say it more D. The speakers up at the language program, from what I understand, they say D for T. And what we were going over today before the class started is the R. I've heard believe and I've heard believe. I know Mvhayv Barnett says Chihijatis. And I've heard the same word saying Chihijatis. So either, I'm sorry, what? Chihijatis or Chihijatis. I've heard it said both ways. So I'm not going to say either way is wrong. Like this up here, sometimes you hear more of the T sound from some of the speakers, some of the D sound for the letter T. New to all this, I need accountability partner. We all need accountability partners. Just hang in there, just practice. You should have the Google Drive on the QR codes that are on the screen. If not, I can just post it in a few minutes on the Zoom. So does anybody have any questions? Does anybody feel like they want to try any of these? All right, go ahead, Philip.
Let's see.
Okay.
ABC. Let's see. Edu. EDD. Overlock. Authority. Yoga. Eden. Suda.
The English you. Suda.
Achieve. Achieve.
Okay.
The last part. Authority. Authority.
Right. Yeah. Right. All right. Keep in mind. I'll post it in a few minutes. All right, anybody else want to try? That was awesome. That's awesome. I know when we both all started, we've all progressed. I can see that, I can hear it. So that's exciting. Just stay in there. Like I tell everybody, if you need to be gone for a few weeks, just jump back in, later on. I know life happens. And just as long as you keep going forward. That's all we ask. All right, anybody else want to try? Come on, yes. All right. All right, so I'm going to post the Google Drive for those on the say it to myself. Okay. Hold on. It should be up. Did anybody have any questions? Anybody wanted to try? I can go back onto this. So whenever somebody says Mado, with the response.
Yeah.
No. I wanted to show you guys this, that looks really cool. Driving down Molly and I hit Simonaya. A police car, which is policeman. So I thought that was cool to share.
Big's car on reservation dogs says Ishimanaya too.
Okay, all right. I haven't seen that in a while. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And it says Mvskoke Nation, Simonaya. So you know what that means now. If you're driving down the way and you're out use that policeman.
Means Grand Tuscany.
Means brand. And you can see my smile, that's my purse. So I thought that was really cool. So on some reservations, I don't know how many of you have been on different reservations, but they have like a stop sign in English and in their language. And I always told people we didn't have a reservation because until recently we did not have that knowledge that it was never disestablished. So they're like, oh, on my reservation this or on my reservation that. I'm like, you don't have one. And now I'm like, I got a reservation. We need to put stop sign. We need to put it in.
Aren't they though, you know, promoting around the council house, the street signs?
The street signs are,
Yeah.
plans, like much of all these. I seen that was a
But
plan.
like right there at the square around the council house, the streets are in.
He and Nagi Mojasi. That's something new.
I know, I
Years
think
ago, it wasn't.
maybe around the council house.
Right
Around the council
like the
area.
Red Stick Gallery is.
Right, okay, so it's in some places, it's not all through the reservation, but, you know, if we could just, you know, reach out and put it all through the reservation, that's a start, so that's
Yeah.
awesome.
California has the same thing in Cherokee. That's new, bro.
Yeah, it is new, Oklahoma, and on reservation.
Yeah.
But I've gone to, what is it, the name reservation, and, San Carlos Apache, things were in their language everywhere. So I really enjoyed that, but I thought I'd share that with you on, Steve and I. Just to let you know, for some reason, this was not working the other day, and I had to update everything. So sometimes she'll work, and sometimes she doesn't. It's a Friday, she's kind of cranky days. So you guys should have this book here. And so you see on the book, it is good. Coffee. It is hot coffee. And then I put underneath there, coffee, hot, it is. So that's the English translation of exactly what you're saying in Mvskoke. And like people have said, some people said, oh, Mvskoke is backwards. No, I don't think Mvskoke is backwards. I think English is backwards, but I always tell everybody, Yoda is Mvskoke. If you talk like Yoda, you're speaking, you know, Mvskoke. And I do have a picture of Yoda in my office, because I'm like, oh, he's an elder. And I just remember how he talks, and that's how our Mvskoke sentences are usually. I think it's cute. I just love Yoda now. And there's some people that have needed Yoda. You know, you're seeing some of the earrings and some of the lanyards. They're Yoda and they're beaded. So like they adopted Yoda, I guess. All right. So coffee is coffee. The reason I put that one is because nowadays you can go and get these cold coffees, which I still like the hot coffee, and I'm here from some degree weather. I'll just go get the hot coffee. Yeah, you can put You can put iced coffee, because that's one of the things that they have now, so you would be coffee, and ice. Yeah, because you're describing the coffee. Coffee, las tipos. It is black coffee, and you can see exactly what I put down there, black coffee it is. So I wanted you guys to be able to see what you're saying. And then me coffee, Helios. Me coffee means grease, lard, oil. It is hot grease. Me coffee, and these, the ones in red are new words, because these are words that are not on our vocabulary. But I was just going through thinking about coffee, thinking about food, thinking about our last day, and we're gonna have our potluck. Some of these words we can try to incorporate. You know, this time we're gonna do a little bit better. I'm not just gonna say, oh, she's and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be doing it. But all right, so me coffee. Waga busy me it is yellow butter. Waga busy me and so butter. Waga busy me butter. So that's a new word for us. Which one? Musta? This is what they say. I'm pretty sure it's probably English from way back when, because they didn't have mustard.
No.
Musta. It's just like some of these words is English. Musta, mustard, musta linos. It is yellow mustard. So say that. So that was mayo. I don't know where they get mayo. It doesn't look English, but I haven't been able to sit in the speakers down and ask them about this one, because I don't know where that came from. But these are our new vocabulary words, and this is why I said it is, because it is, those means it is in these sentences. And then one of the things that I see was dos. It is a dog. Dos just kind of covers both. Well, you know it's a dog, but like I said, sometimes there's not an exact word or an English word. You know it's a dog, or you know it's a cat, or you know it's a chicken, or whatever you're talking about. So dos, it is a dog. Or solosi, dos, it is a chicken. You know, waga, dos, it is a cow. Right. Dos. Or dos. All right. Anybody want to try any of these? Okay. Thank you. Anybody want to try these? No. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to try these? I have yet to get the speaker to speak to this, but go ahead. All right, so now you can see, like coffee, we've already had that, so we're trying to use some of our vocabulary words that we had before. And that's what I try to do, because I know simple sentences, we're trying to get sentences, we're trying to get the sentence order and everything. Does anybody have any questions? All right, so since we've gone through first person, second person, and third person, next week I'm going to try to put it all together and make sentences, so we can just test ourselves and try to stay on the ball and see if we can remember some of these rules. And you guys are doing so awesome. You guys know how to do the step by step, and you can know when to add the ES or the S. There's no go or ego this time, but the following week I can actually start putting more stuff in 1, 2, and 3, and then I could add go or ego. You know, it just depends on how far along we're getting and how we're grasping the thing. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Next week we don't have any food, so if you have anything to share, feel free to bring it. That's what we did this week. Well, go ahead.
You can lift it for sale, till next Friday, you take over next week.
Yeah, okay. We can, I can ask Mr. Fox if he can put that aside for our class. If not, we could just, take it off.
May not.
He might have a little stash. Does anybody have any questions? Does this start to make sense? Help everybody. All right, so those online, hello for coming. Friday evening. I'm so proud of you guys, we're trying to keep the language alive and trying to make sure you guys understand, and I'm trying to learn as well. All right, Cadeau, online, I will say, Cadeau, get your call, please. I will see you all again.